Hello everyone, today I'm going to be making this card, and this is using the Tim Holtz, it's an older die called Picture Wheel, and so let's just get started. So first, I already pre-cut out all of my stuff here, and this is a 5x5 card base, and the inside is done with a stitched square, which is just slightly smaller. I used the Echo Parks splash paper. That's my inspiration for all my colors. And then I also cut out the picture wheel several times using either fun foam or also my toppers. So 2 toppers, and this one I did 3 fun foam, but if I was going to do it again, I would probably just do 2 because it's a little bit thick. Right now I'm just doing the background to my wheel, and I'm using the broken china and the sea foam, and I believe that's blue jean, and I'm just going to keep going over this until it looks the way I want it. So it's just kind of going back and forth with the different colors and just trying to get a good blend, and then I'll wet it down. Since this is going to be my background, I'm going to wet it a few times and try to get a few drops on it. Mostly the middle you won't see, but the ring around the outside, I want to make sure that there's some pretty decent drops around that outside ring where you can see through the picture die. So here's the coloring. I already stamped all these out on Nina Solar White. This one's an 80 pound, and I used the My Favorite Things Jet Black ink. The stamps are from, that one's Avery, Elle, and that one is called Sea-Prise. And then the other one is my Lawn Fawn, You Are Sublime, is all the little ones. I left only the coloring for the little puffer fish from the Sea-Prise stamp set. And the rest of it, I did put the colors are up there on the top, and I also put the colors of the rest of them. When you get to that, they'll also be listed. And I matched the colors as best I could using my Copic chart to the paper, the Echo Park paper. So these are as close as I could come to the colors that are inside of that paper pack, because I thought they were just really cute combination of colors. So this is just basically, this is a super basic Copic coloring, just going over. I wanted him to be kind of bright and to match the paper, so I went with the yellows and the orange. And on my way through using my Y11, it ran dry. So then I had to finish it up with Y13. So there is Y11 listed, but it's just a very small amount because I ended up just going over it with the Y13 until I get some more Y11. So it's just shading stuff in, trying to make this one really as detailed as I can get it, since she's going to go on the outside of the card where you can, really see really well. Most of the other images are on the inside in the wheel, so that's just going to be some basic. Most of them are just 2 colors, super fast, easy blending. This paper is great for blending if you use the right ink. Of course, most papers are, but I did try to do this on using the Bristol Smooth cardstock, which is what I used for the wheel for blending. It's great for blending your backgrounds, but it's not really good for any Copic coloring. So I ended up having to restamp the whole thing. So now I'm all done. There's the colors on the top. This is just going through. I put some little cheeks on using the R20, and now I'm just doing some highlights with my white gel pen. Then I'm going to cut them all out using the dies. The puffer fish and her little horn, there's no die for that, so I have to fussy cut it. But the rest of them all have dies from the Lawn Fawn set. So I will just run those through my machine a couple times because there's a couple of images there, and then they're all done. Push them off to the side, and we're going to start assembling our wheel. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw some little pencil lines on the background, just so that I know where to place all my little elements that are going to go inside the wheel. So you see they're all penciled out, and then I'm just going to start assembling and picking where I want each little guy to go. And you'll be able to see, because it's got the little openings, so I'm trying to just stick their faces into the frame so that you can see through the little windows. You'll be able to see each little character that I did. So here I'm just gonna glue them all down, making sure they're gonna hang off some of them, and I will just trim that off so it'll be okay. But I wanted to make sure that you could see what I want you to see through each window. So they're kind of moved. And then some of them are stacked on top of each other because I want them to be like a little scene. And my cute little bubbles, they get covered up later. So some of this you're not even going to be able to see because of the elements that go on the outside of the card, but it's still, you still do everything because you never know at the end what you're going to be able to see through the front. So I just trim it all up, and there's my wheel. And then I'm just gonna attach, this is the fun foam piece. I'm just gonna attach the fun foam and see how you can see them all through the little pictures. So you just take the fun foam, stick it on there, and then like I said, if I had this to do again, I would only do 2 layers of the fun foam, not 3, because I ended up with a lot. So this is with all 3 on. And now I'm just gonna adhere the first piece of the top of my wheel, and this is, I just put a thing on to let it dry. And now I'm gonna put some chunky glitter inside after I adhere my little heart and a couple of the little bubbles inside from the set. I still have other stuff that I'm going to be using on the outside that's up there, but I wanted to just put a few in there. So we'll just put a little bit of that chunky glitter in each one of the little windows. And then I'm going to take my acetate and peel off the back, and then I'm just going to attach the acetate to the front, put something heavy on top to let it dry for a little bit. You're not going to be able to see because there's another wheel that goes over the top, so you won't be able to see any of that, but it does dry clear when it is finally finished drying. I'm just too impatient to wait. So now I'm just going to adhere the top of the wheel, picture wheel. Like I said, you won't see any of the bottom, so it's just line that up, and that is complete. Now I'm just going to set some stuff on it and let it dry, and then we're going to work on the front of the card. So I'm just going to attach my panel, and this is just a little bit smaller than the 5x5 card base. And this one's really cute because it has little dots, and they're see-through, so you can see the paper behind it. So at this point, I'm looking at it and I'm realizing that I forgot to do the top. So I go back and I use the Bristol Smooth cardstock and I cut out another circle. This one's a stitch circle that will fit right in the middle of that picture wheel. I also cut out a little scrap piece and turned it into like the bottom of the ocean, so it's kind of sandy. I attached that and then realized I wanted to stuck something behind there, so I pull it apart a little bit, put some glue on, and then just assemble my underwater scene. And this is the part that's going to attach to the front of the card. I don't pop anything up because the card is already kind of thick enough, except for the lobster and the pufferfish. So everything else is flat, and then the lobster and the pufferfish will be popped up. The little bubble, the little thought bubble right there is from the picture wheel, Lawn Fawn picture wheel. And I did the same thing with the fun foam. I just cut out the fun foam and the paper and stamped my sentiment so it would be popped up. And now I'm just going to pop up my little puffer fish. And I want to make sure none of him sinks in, so I put a lot of little pieces of foam on there. And his little horn, pop that up, and place that. And then I will place the sentiment, which has the fun foam on it. I was trying to figure out where my placement was going to be before I stick down my little blowhorn. And this is what it's going to look like. Now just adhering it. This is what I mean by there goes my cute little bubble and heart. But you just never know what's going to be showing through, so you got to decorate all your little wheels, and there it is, all attached. And now I'm just going to do some finishing touches and attach some bubbles to the outside. and the little heart to the frame of my sentiment. And then at this point, I realize that the outside looks really plain. So I'm just going to add a few little things to the outside. And I decided to go with the white enamel dots and the Nouveau Crystal in the only orange that I have, which isn't as bright as I wanted it to be, but it still worked out okay. And I will have to get back to you on what color crystal drops those are, because I forgot to write it down. I think it's Harvest. It's one of the Harvest ones. There they are. And then I also have some little blue enamel dots that came in one of the kits that actually matches this paper perfectly. I'm just going to put a couple of those down. And then that will complete my little picture wheel shaker card using stamps from Avery, Elle and stamps from Fawn. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll leave some close-ups at the end, and I really do appreciate you guys stopping by, checking out my videos, subscribing, comments. I may not always answer them right away, the comments, because I have a full-time job, so I don't always get to get on here and check all my comments, but I really do appreciate them. I think you guys are amazing. I hope you have a spectacular week, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.